Seem to have a bit of an issue here. So we've got this FK2 in us today, and we've got some gear selection issues to sort out. We're suspecting that it's going to be the first and second synchro, although we'll get the gearbox removed out the car, get the casing off and see what's really gone inside the box. After that, we've got a full service and clutch replacement to carry out. As you may have picked up already, this car's seen a little bit of a harder life than others. We've got a windscreen with a couple of track day stickers up there, we've got a set of Nankang AR1 tyres, and also a special edition set of brown Brembos. To help the car out once it gets back out on track, we're also going to be fitting a FK oil cooler kit to this FK2, as well as a Tegua carbon bonnet. Now that's to be to release some of the under bonnet temperatures and help aid the whole efficiency. So after popping the bonnet and having a brief look around the engine bay, we can see that we've got sort of half an Venturi here, and that's paired up with a AirTech intercooler kit and a big boost pipe kit, and then also a decap pipe. Now that Ryan's got the gearbox out of the car and the casing whipped off, we can actually start to have a bit of a closer look to see what's gone inside. First up, we can see that the magnet has picked up a lot of swarf around the back, so we've definitely got signs that there's going to be a synchro worn here. We're suspecting that it's going to be the first and second synchro around the back there, so next step really will be to start getting all these selectors out the way, get the reverse gear out, and then start disassembling the gear to really get a closer look to see any damage that we can spot. With the gearbox apart and the shaft stripped down now, we can actually start to see some of the wear that's occurred on the actual gears. So on the hub ring of the first and second synchro, we can actually see that we've got really burred over edges on the teeth that actually mate into second gear synchro. And then likewise on the hub itself, you can feel the burr on the side there, as well as a lot of pitting from where obviously the swarf has then gone around inside this synchro. The actual synchro rings themselves, once you pull them apart, they don't look too bad, but obviously the synchros come as a full set, including the ring and the hub. So all of this will get replaced when we get to actually putting the new parts on. As I mentioned, we've got a new set of synchros there for first and second, and also a set of Honda bearings. Obviously the swarf that's been inside the gearbox has gone around and obviously caught on the magnet, but it has had the potential to go through all these bearings. So whilst we're at this point of having the gearbox apart, it's probably a good practice to make sure that we replace the bearings as well. Talking of good practice, we're actually going to strip apart the other shaft here and just check the rest of the synchros, because in just moving some of them apart, we can actually start to see a bit of pitting around some of the actual hub rings there. So I think, again, whilst we're at this point, it's probably worth stripping this apart just to thoroughly inspect and make sure there's nothing else that needs replacing at this point. So with the counter shaft all built up now, we've got the first and second synchro in place and moving nice and freely as it should. But we can now focus our attention back over to the main shaft. So obviously the main shaft, like I said, we're going to strip down because we did see, if you have a look on the hub here, there was a little bit of sort of scoring and pitting along the edge. So we really wanted to take that off and have a closer look, and I'm really glad that we have done, because in doing so, we've actually picked up that around the teeth here that start to mate into the synchro and then the gear, they've actually done very similar to what first and second were doing, and they've started to burr over on the edge. You can feel it quite rough with your finger here as well. But again, signs that this was going to be on its way out as well. So with all of this in mind, we are going to in fact end up putting a full set of synchros into this gearbox. So the first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth, as well as a set of bearings. Once that's all done, we should then have another healthy gearbox and ready to go again. Looking at the gears, it doesn't look like they've taken much damage across the faces. There's a slight bit of shining on them, but enough that they look like they'll be reusable. So all in all, we can save the gearbox, get it back together, and this should be good to go again. That's the gearbox fully assembled now, so we've got synchros throughout all of the gears, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. We've got new bearings throughout, across the diff as well, and both shafts, and then obviously new seals. The last bit left really is to put some liquid gasket around here, get the casing back on and get it ready to go back in the car. So we've just got to the end of the week and we haven't quite got the car finished in time. Obviously I mentioned earlier that we were trying to fit an FK oil cooler kit to an FK2 and we just fell short on having the fittings in time to actually get this cooler mounted up. Obviously they're going to come in early next week and we'll get the car completed and ready to go back to the customer. But if you've enjoyed today's video, please give us a like, leave us a comment below and hit the subscribe button.